With Vinny O'Neill, who runs the amateur program here at Southside Boxing Club. Vinny, how long have you been training the amateurs here at Southside?
About a year now.
Tell me, what do you take from your pro career to training the young kids?
Just the hard work and dedication that it takes to be a fighter. Teaching these kids, the basics and the fundamentals, but also teaching them, everything it takes to excel in the sport of boxing.
Some of these young kids you've been with, and you're keeping them very active. You're taking them to Rochester, New York, Butler, Pennsylvania, any kind of show you can. Recently we talked, you're planning on taking a group of the kids to the Silver Glove State Tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio. How important is it to get these kids to that tournament level competition, and what's the competition going to be like as opposed to a club show?
Oh, the competition is going to be real good. This is where all the good amateur fighters come together to showcase their skills. This is going to be a great learning experience for a lot of these young guys to finally get some experience in a tournament. These show fights, they're fun, they're interesting, keeps the kids active, but what they're working towards is to get to these tournaments. This is where you start getting ranked. This is where you start getting your name out there. This is where you start developing your career, is in these tournaments.
You got a lot of the young fighters here we talked about. Tell us a little bit about some of the fighters you have here.
Okay, well, well, first off, we got 6 guys fighting in the Silver Gloves. I have 2 14-year-olds that are hella tough. They come in here, they work hard every day. They're dedicated. They stay focused, and there's no quit in them. All right, so I got them 2, Jackson B. Hunt and Brian Cologne. I'm looking for them to do some big things this year. I have my 2 8-year-olds, the twins. Not gonna pronounce their last names.
I never try either.
Yeah. Anyways, little Juan's got a lot of talent. He's figured out what it takes to win. He knows what he needs to do, and he can put it all together, and he puts it all together real quick. I look for him to have a good showing down here in this tournament and start making a name for himself right off the bat. His brother, I'm hoping to get him some fights. He's a little bit bigger. It's hard to find a kid at 8 years old that's 105 pounds in fights. So hopefully going to a tournament, we'll be able to get a couple fights for him. I'd like to see him at least get 2 fights while we're down there. And then I got a Jacorian Dent. He's a real skillful boxer. This year is going to be like his coming out party, I think, once he starts developing more so into his age and his size. He's still a young build for his age at 13. And who else we got going?
Joey?
Oh, Joey Nail. Yeah, Joey Nail will be making his debut in the ring at the Silver Gloves, which is, a big step up for a young kid to actually, his first time in the ring, being in the ring with what could be a very talented, experienced young fighter. But we'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. That's how I feel. I do what I can with these kids, and I'm teaching them the right way, breaking it down. I think we've all built a good relationship inside and outside the ring. I feel like they listen and they believe in what I'm teaching them, and they're starting to believe in themselves, which is always tough for a fighter to do.
Yeah, I've noticed that, like the unity that you've built inside this gym. When I went to my first amateur event with you, actually, and I know Salem Boxing Club, all the kids stuck around, they root for each other. And Southside, like in the past couple months, I've noticed that you had a few fighters here fighting the other night down at the Saxon Club, and the fighters that weren't fighting, they were all there. They were there, watching them get their hands up. They were all there for moral support. So you've really seemed to have built like a real team unity here.
Yes, and that's what I'm striving for. I want this to be, obviously it's an individual sport when you're in the ring, right? But we can't, as fighters, you can't get to where you want to go without the other guys in the gym, right? Everybody pushing each other, everybody keeping each other accountable, making sure everybody is responsible for putting in the time and the work, So I'm bringing a little bit of my military background into this, and trying to tell these guys, you're only as good as the guy that you're in the ring with, and if he ain't got your back, then you're out here alone, and we can't have that. Plus, a lot of these guys, they don't play school sports, they're boxers. You know, this is their sport. This is their team. These are the guys. This is like a family down here. It's always been that way at Southside. You know, you come from Southside, you got that Southside pride, and that's been instilled since day one with Jack. You know, and I'm sure over the years, you know, kids are in and out, and we've lost some of that over the years. But I'm trying to bring back that little, I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm trying to bring these kids and let them know that they're not here alone. We're all in this together, you know.
That's Vinny O'Neill. Going to be taking a handful of kids to the Silver Glows. Some good things going on here at Southside Boxing Club. Vinny, you know, as you say, you're taking these kids to Silver Glows. What do you think the state of boxing is in Youngstown right now?
It's not bad right now. It's coming back. We've had a lot of shows over the last year. I'm looking to have a lot more shows in the area this year that hopefully we'll be able to get on every one of them shows with all my guys. I expect, you know, Jacorian Dent, Juan, and even little Joey. I plan on having all these kids 20 fights over the next year. This year was a lot of these guys' first time fighting. Juan and Jose and Jacorian and Brian. You know, this was their first year, and they've all got, you know, anywhere between 4 to 10 fights. So I'm looking at this year being able to, you know, hopefully get 20 to 25 fights for a lot of these young guys that are in the gym every day, putting in the work, you know, doing things that most grown people can't do. You know, I got 8-year-olds that I forget are 8-year-olds because they don't act like 8-year-olds. They train like adults. They put in the work and they work hard. You know, and you know, sometimes you forget that they're only 8 years old. But yeah, I plan on keeping our guys busy all year long. We'll travel anywhere. We'll fight with whoever. Boxing, I'm trying to bring boxing back into Youngstown, or keep it going, I should say, not bring it back, but keep it going down here at Southside.
And that's Vinny O'Neill. And Vinny, I got to owe you a personal thank you. When I first started this website, I didn't know who to reach out to. You're the one I reached out to, and you've really helped me network. And so I think Youngstown, man, we just got to grow the sport together.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I see big things happening for you and what you started, and I appreciate what you just said. You know, I would do anything for anybody for the sport of boxing. You know, I love this sport. I grew up with it. Done it pretty much my whole life, ever since I was 13 years old too. You know, now I'm 38. I feel like I've been doing this forever. You know, some things, you know, life comes about and takes you in different paths, but I think this is something that I probably should have gotten into a lot sooner.
I'll let you pitch yourself now. Anybody out there who might be watching this video says, you know what, I want to give boxing a shot. They might be too afraid to come down and give it a shot. Just tell them, you know, like, what words of encouragement would you offer?
Man, words of encouragement, man, just come down. I feel everybody should get in the ring for at least one time. Train for one fight, get in the ring, you know, and man up and see what it's like to box, man. It's a really fun sport. A lot of people think we're just in there throwing punches, and let me tell you what, there's so much that goes into boxing, and there's so much going on at one time. A lot of people can't cut it. But if you've ever thought that it might be something fun to do, come on down and give it a shot. You know, that's all I can say, man. Words of encouragement, man. The sport of boxing is not dead like all the UFC people would like to say.
I agree 100%. Vinny, we thank you. We look forward to you having a successful trip to Cincinnati to start off the new year in the Silver Gloves.